Welcome to Agility Digital's weekly segment on automating your business processes through the help of automotive technologies. This week we have Shannyn Merlo from Inspired Outcomes Consulting here to discuss really what helps a business successful and how to create that sort of holistic approach to what you do. Morning, Shannyn. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, Jeremy. Thanks for inviting me to be here.
Not a problem. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
So Inspired Outcomes Consulting is a business coaching and consulting organisation. We work with small business owners who are really at the momentum stage of their growth. So they're tracking along and they're moving forward, and it's normally at the point where at the spiky point where they need to actually automate their business and be more efficient. So that's often at the point where I come in.
Cool. So what sort of advice do you have for businesses, I guess, that are trying to reach that next stage, obviously be successful, but streamline and help get things underway?
Yeah. I guess the first question is what is success to them? And I think defining what success is really important, because for some people, success is actually keeping it small and keeping the business agile. For some people, it's actually bringing on a team. And if you're staying small and agile, you want to make sure that anything that you do in your business is really super efficient so that your time is best spent doing what you want to be doing.
Yep.
If you've got a big team of people, you'll want to set the organisation up so that it runs efficiently and you can manage efficiently using systems and processes in order to do that. So that, again, your time is used effectively, not chasing problems, but being forward focused.
Yeah, cool. So I guess and either of those side of things, whether you're trying to keep things small or like grow to a team, obviously having that understanding of where you want to be and making sure, everybody's sort of behind that and you have a sort of a holistic approach to how you go about operating is really important.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've certainly worked in organisations where there's a disconnect between sales teams and operations teams, and the victim in that situation is the customer, because the customer is the one getting annoyed that what they were promised doesn't get delivered. And so certainly having a clear idea of what are we trying to achieve, what do we stand for as well? Like, do we stand for selling, a dodgy lemon car to a customer and not caring about the customer long term?
Yep.
Or do we actually want to have this customer as someone for their entire journey, and therefore we want to give them a nice reliable car that we can service for years and years and years, just an example, and they keep coming back to us when they need to upgrade and get another car. So as an example. So holistic, I suppose, means everyone's singing from the same song sheet.
Yeah.
We all are trying to achieve the same thing, and whatever that might be, depending on the core success metrics of your business. And then each of your business divisions are operating in a way where the customer is actually being served across the whole life cycle.
Yeah, and we often talk about that as well, like marketing itself, it's not just the front end of your advertising and your promotions and the website. It's actually every touch point that a client has with your business throughout their entire lifespan. So whether that is through the sales team or, the service delivery team or aftercare or whatever that sort of looks like, I guess using like a car analogy. But, one of the things we always talk about is obviously putting your client at the center of everything you do and understanding that the idea of a sales funnel it's almost, it's outdated now. A client or customer's relationship with your business isn't linear. It's not just in one end and out the other. It's continuous. So you got to look at that journey and remove friction from all points across that. One of the analogies we like to use is, it's sort of based off, I guess, HubSpot's the flywheel model where, like a car's flywheel, it's about speed and getting momentum, and the more that turns is kind of like the more growth that you get if your clients are focused at the middle. And if your processes or any part of your business aren't operating together and working to propel that in the right direction, you're essentially putting a brake on it where everyone else has to work 10 times harder to keep that relationship going. And so obviously having that clear message across everything's really, really important as well. So.
Yeah, but it also, it saves the business money. So Zappos is a really great organisation. I use it a lot in my discussions. They have their shoe delivery company in the US. 79% of their business is returned customers. So they don't actually effectively have to spend more money acquiring that customer. They're spending money doing great service, delivering a great product, doing what they say they're going to do, and then remarketing to those people who they've already built a trusted relationship with. So it doesn't cost them as much to then get them to repurchase. So actually having it working holistically works better for your business. It costs you less.
Yeah.
And by doing that, so let's say I order shoes and they're delivered the next day and they're fantastic and I had fantastic customer service. Well, I'm going to talk about that to my friends and family, and then they're going to go on and buy. So actually, again, you're not paying for the referral of that business. You're not paying for that marketing. So the more that your operations, your whole business operation can run end to end to serve the customer, the better return on investment that you've got on any spend that you have, and the better experience it's going to be for your customers and the people who work in your organisation.
Yeah, definitely. In our experience, obviously, people who are promoting your business are your best marketing efforts. I mean, they don't cost anything. I mean, obviously, you've got to deliver a great service, but they're more trusted than advertising is alone. And they're more likely to drive, their friends and family to come and see you as well. So, yeah, obviously that, once again, that complete experience is crucial in growing a business. And I think that also goes across how you measure data and how you process information inside your organization too. We sort of spoke about silos before. And if someone's running their business and they're kind of looking at all these individuals as different things and they're operating in different ways, not passing their knowledge and their data across, it's very hard for, the sales guys to know what the marketing team's doing. It's hard for operations or, the service side of a business to understand what's coming through their pipeline. So you obviously have the ability for things to fall over if you're not sharing that information. And we always try really hard to help get organizations to understand that it's not just one point. It's everybody needs to work as one unit. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about that traditional sort of funnel, and you sort of lose 30% as you work through the funnel. Well, the more that you can increase that number, more money you save as a result of the efforts that you've got. So if your sales team can convert the sales at a higher number based on trust in the marketplace, being known, delivering great service and all the rest of it, and you can track that, then you can then go, well, and there's a failure somewhere along the line, you need a system to track that, right? Somewhere along the line there's a failure because our sales team are doing great, they're converting great, our marketing funnel is full, so we've got that, but then we've got something at the end where we're not actually hitting our revenue targets. Where's the problem? So when you have a system that can track those metrics, and it should be, it doesn't matter what size your business is, even if you're a solo startup, there should be something that's important that you're tracking in your business. It might be churn of customers, it might be new sales, what have you. But you want to track something. But if you have a system that can track the end-to-end process, you can look at where there is inefficiencies or where things are falling through the cracks. So then you're more able to plug that gap and fix that problem, and work holistically across your entire organisation. And again, it doesn't matter how big your organisation is. It could be, you've got someone who's doing sales and someone who's doing delivery, but you want to make sure that you've got something that helps that communication between the whole part of your customer's journey.
Yeah. One of the things we always talk to people to do is map out that complete journey. So what are the activities that you're doing inside your organization? Whether it's book a consultation, have a meeting, put together a proposal, all that kind of stuff, and even the marketing before that. So map everything out step by step, no matter how big or small that task is or how much impact you think it actually gives to your business. Map that all out and just align, and then start putting in what the client's behavior is as well, or the actions that you think they need to take to get them to the next stage of those actions right through to the point of sale. And once you've kind of done that out, you can build yourself almost like a pipeline. And obviously it takes a bit of change management or mind sort of set to change to think about how you track that information as it goes across. Obviously there's some really good software out there. And you can automate that process. So it goes to each point. But the best part is a lot of the software is the AI inside of that starts calculating the percentage chance of moving to each of those next stages. So what it really means for an organization is if they're sitting there and they're going, okay, we're getting, X amount of leads coming in through the top of the funnel, and it's falling over at this point and it's dropping only down to 10% conversion rate or something like that. You can go back and have a look at all the percentage chances of moving through to the next stage of that process. And if you're looking at it and it's kind of like 100%, 90, 80, 80, 80, 80, and then drops down to 20, you've pretty much identified right there what the problem is and why the client doesn't want to move forward with you. And what it means as well is that you can be pretty proactive, or you can start identifying these changes really quickly, and then jump onto it and get in there and kind of fix what that problem is straight away, rather than waiting a whole financial year and then going, oh, we didn't make as much money as we did last year. Why? Yeah. Everyone starts pointing fingers, there's a whole bunch of arguments and you're not able to really identify it. So that's huge.
Well, I think that what you're talking about there is almost like your whole business systemization. It's the McDonald's model, right?
Yeah.
The more that you can actually take out the human element from the end-to-end process in your business, the more efficient your business can be, and the more then you can deliver at less cost.
Yep.
And that doesn't take away creativity and the value of people having their own piece of innovation. But where you can use a system to automate so that it doesn't. So, for example, I've got to remember to call a client in 30 days after they've signed on, let's say. Now, unless I have a system that does that for me, the chances are, unless I'm really super with my, scheduling and all the rest of it, chances are that's going to get dropped off the list. Yeah. And then you call them at 60 days when you remember, and then you've lost that opportunity. Whereas if you've got a system that can do that and actually almost automate that whole flow, then you're more likely to have that customer come back or that them stay engaged with your organisation. So it is really important to see where you can actually systematise your organisation or systematise your business and use systems to systematise your business in order to run it more efficiently. It makes it more profitable and more saleable as well, if that's what the plan is in the long term. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we did some work with an SEO company that, obviously they have their onboarding process. They have the discussions with them in that sort of first month. And then after that, it was kind of after their account managers to remember to get back in touch. So they'd write something in their diary or put something, in Outlook or whatever and reach out. But by automating that process to remind them, to prompt them, they get in their office in the morning, turn the computer on, and it gives them a list of people that they need to contact that day. They were able to sort of get that manual stuff out of the way really early on in the day and then focus on, the growth of what they were doing next. Yeah. The other side of things as well with that is obviously with what they do, there's a huge amount of reporting, so every month having to report back on the performance of, 20 different clients was taking them a huge amount of time. So at the beginning of each month, they were looking at, a week and a half where they weren't actually selling or growing the business. They were just focusing on that side of it. Yeah. And so that's one of the other things you can do with automation. If you know where that data is coming from and you can connect it all, you can pretty much, personalize reports, information, communication, and get it straight out to the people that need it. And once again, enabling you to focus on what you want to do too. So it's, it's really great.
Yeah. I would completely agree.
Yeah. Cool. That's a good point. So I mean, it's great for you to come along and have a bit of a chat, and I always enjoy catching up and having a in-depth discussion about what's happening out there, what businesses should be doing. I mean, you've always been a great help to us, and I'd encourage anyone to get in touch with Shannyn and see if she can help you out as well and provide you with some great advice about streamlining your processes as well.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Appreciate that. And thanks for letting me come and chew the fat with you. We could have talked all day about automations and business efficiencies and profitability and
it happens a lot. But we're running out of coffee and that sort of thing.
Exactly.
So yeah. Awesome. Cheers. Well, thank you, and we'll catch up again soon.